How do we instill faith? Can faith be taught? We can do our best to teach religion, prayers, customs, rites, how to do your sadro and kasti, but it's just not enough. It's not sustainable unless we can simultaneously instill faith. Faith is not something we can teach in a classroom. It's not a subject with exact answers, dimensions, and experiences with rights and wrongs. Faith is just the name that we give our relationship, our individual relationships with our Mazda or God by any name. Building that relationship with our Mazda is actually really simple at any age and at any stage in your life. We can get to know our Mazda the very same way we get to know anyone else in our lives. And that's through interaction. That means by talking and listening. It also means spending time with each other and doing things together, by living, learning, working, laughing, playing together. Our Mazda's love and friendship is always following us, but often we don't see it or recognize it. That's because we think of him only in those few moments that we take to pray or when we're in trouble or difficulty. But our Mazda wants us to involve him in each and every part of our day. He wants us to think of him as a constant companion, a friend who never leaves our side. He wants us to consult him in everything we do. He wants us to talk to him and ask him if he is happy with the things that we say and do. He wants us to think of him and thank him when we are happy. He wants us to apologize when we do something wrong and ask him to help us to be strong enough not to do it again. He wants us to turn to him when we are sad or troubled so that he can teach us how to overcome our obstacles in life. He loves us and he wants us to love him. He wants us to love him enough to ask, what can we do for him? That's one way of getting to know him. Another way, another very good way of getting to know Ora Mazda is by interacting with him all through the day. For example, when we speak the truth and we never lie. When we practice doing this all through the day, we are involving our Mazda in everything we think and say. When we help our Mazda by helping others, we involve him in our every action. If we can do this every day, day after day, our Mazda will know he can depend on us. That's what being a friend is. Then one day, when someone else prays to our Mazda for help, our Mazda will make sure that the two of you meet. That's because he can now depend on you to help him and help others. And then both you and the other person that you're helping will know. You will know in your heart that somehow a higher power has brought you two together. Remember, our Mazda knows us inside and out, but he also wants us to know him. He wants us to get familiar with him. You know you can always depend on him just like a friend, but he also wishes the same from you. He wants to be able to depend on you too. You can become more familiar with our Mazda by interacting with him and involving him in every thought, word, and deed in your day. And when we do that, we get to know our Mazda's love. And how do we recognize this? Well, we know our Mazda loves us and cares for us in the very same way that we recognize love from other people. We recognize love in the way people interact with us. That means the way they show each other kindness, concern, consideration. We feel it in our longing to be together as one. And we know it in the happy and carefree feeling we have when we are together with the ones we love and the ones who love us. So, just like our parents love us and gave us good direction. They expect us to be good individuals. They push us to study, work hard, and to be active and fit people. Our parents' love and directions help us grow into good and healthy human beings in this life. But in the same way, our Mazda's love directs our life so that we can develop our spiritual side and our spiritual strengths. He wants us to learn how to care for somebody, even though they may have hurt us. He wants us to learn how to love someone, even though they may dislike us. He wants us to know and learn how to give of ourselves without expecting anything in return. So when we face difficulties, it's the best opportunity for us to practice developing these godlike or saintly qualities. Of course, we will fail so many times, but we must keep on trying and seize every opportunity we get to practice and be thankful for every opportunity He gives us to practice being a bit more like Him. So instead of asking or expecting our Mazda to remove all obstacles in our life, we should try praying for help and guidance to overcome obstacles without compromising what is right. That's what is called being a good friend to our Mazda. We must pray to overcome struggles by being strong enough to resist from doing anything wrong in the order to get through. We have to pray to overcome difficulties with wisdom and inner strength to carry on. So when we pray for these sorts of things, suddenly we will find a surge of divine help. We will find courage, strength, wisdom that we never thought we had. And that's when you will recognize the flow of love pouring into your life from the heavens above. That's, my friends, that is how to build your relationship with our Mazda. That's how we build faith. That's how we build unshakable faith. And this is how we have to teach our children. Although we teach them all the how to do their kasti and say their prayers and form their rituals right, we also have to teach them how to interact, how to talk to Dada or Mazda, how to how to involve Dada or Mazda in all our ups and downs in our life and pray to them. That talking, that interaction ultimately leads to faith because Dada or Mazda is always hearing us and he's always with us. And once we start this line of communication, our ability to recognize his divine interference, divine interaction in our lives is becomes more aware to us, and it builds up within us an unshakable faith. And this is how to build the faith. This is how we can begin to teach children not faith, but how to develop faith, how to develop a relationship with our Mazda, how to make our Mazda a very best friend, your closest confidant, and how to have that trust in our Mazda that he is always there for us. And that even though sometimes things don't seem like they're going in the right direction, when we have an unshakable faith, when we know that Dada or Mazda hears our prayers, and every time we talk to him, we know that he hears it. We know that when certain doors close in front of us, we know that he's got our back. We know that he has another plan for us. We know that he is the friend that's holding our hand and protecting us from all the negative in our life. So, I hope you enjoyed listening to this video, and do join us again for another video on the same topics of faith and children's education. Thank you. Bye bye.